Welcome to the RIA Industry Podcast. This is your host, Seth Greene. Today, I've got the good fortune to be joined by Steve Richman and Guy Paredes from Rockdale Assets and the upcoming Imagine Retirement podcast. Steve, Guy, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thanks very much for bringing us on, Seth. Appreciate it.
Our pleasure. You guys have both been in the business together a very, very long time. Let's go back in time. How did you get started?
Steve,
Well,
go ahead and take that one.
yeah, I'll bring that into focus. We began as RIAs back in the '90s when we saw that industry was emerging and the no load fund and low cost uh, to client that platform became prominent, and we looked at that and said, besides that, it also put us in a position to be a fiduciary for our clients, which we felt were in the best interest of our clients. And when we saw that, we determined that we wanted to become RIAs, and that's when we formed our RIA back in the '90s, Seth.
Awesome. And you've been over, as alluded to, been around a long time, seen a lot of ups and downs in the market.
Mhm.
What were some of the challenges that you've kind of faced over the last 30 years?
Well, I would say the biggest challenge was there's a learning curve when you go from, the typical commission-based systems that were out there, in the 70s and 80s and into the early 90s, and transitioning to an asset-based management platform was a lot more difficult because you had to reduce your compensation, and that compensation gets spread out over time. So it was difficult for people to transition over to that side of the business. But we knew that was the trend, and we knew that was in the best interest of the clients. Um, but there was some regulatory challenges there. It's a new set of rules. Also, there's an educational process where clients needed to learn more about what asset-based management was. And, they were used to, commissions being built into products, and now everything was the onion was kind of unpeeled, and we had to educate people how it's more cost effective for them, even though they're now transparently seeing the fees that they weren't seeing hidden into some of these mutual funds. So it was an educational, uh, compliance challenge and technology challenge to uh, gear up for asset-based management under an RIA.
Your business has grown a lot over the several decades you've been in business. Steve, who's an ideal client for you now?
Uh, well, I would say, Seth, that, most of our clients that we're meeting are baby boomers because, the majority of money is with baby boomers. But listen, we have baby boomers, we have their kids. I mean, we have a wide selection of clients, but I think the people that best meets, our profile and will be really benefit by our Imagine Retirement Income process are people that are pre-retirement in their 50s, and then people that are already retired really get helped by it also. So that's really where we've targeted, and it will most help the client. Our program are those age categories.
You've seen an incredible amount of market activity since the 90s. How has your approach to money management changed over the years?
Guy, you want to take that, or you want me to grab that?
Well, either way, but I'll address it. So the money management has changed, like we said, as we're transitioning uh, from uh, commission-based to fee-based management. And I think the main thing that people have been utilizing is technology. So the biggest thing now is technology and how people are uh, utilizing it. So we have to be very up to date on technology. We have to be nimble to be able to show people their investments online. It's no more paper these days. People don't even like to get paper anymore. So I would say that's the way things are moving.
What is the Imagine Retirement process and how did you create it?
Well, the retirement process that we put together was it just a development over the years of working with clients where we really realized that they had several key questions that they were interested in getting an answer to. One was, do I have enough money to retire on? Number two, how do I know that the money I have is enough to make it last? How do I make sure if something were to happen to me, this money goes to my kids? And how do I protect me and my wife if something happened to either one of us health-wise, where we had to go to a nursing home facility? And so it really surrounded around questions we were being asked, and we said, this is years ago. We have to have some type of process and software program that will allow us to answer these questions. And so that's really how the Imagine Retirement process began, and was put together over a period of years. So that's how it was developed.
Guy, what do you wish you knew when you started that you know now?
Yeah, speaking of the Imagine Retirement processes, I wish we would have had that in place a long time ago because back then you had the yellow pad, back in the 70s, and you're writing things down and you're kind of showing people manually how things are looking and sort of projecting with the HP 12 calculator, um, which I still have. But now people really want a vision or a visual. And that process that we have now gives people sort of a roadmap of where they are, where they're going, and gives them the confidence in their plan. If we would have had that back then, I think we would have had a much more successful practice in being able to create visuals and a clear path for people that we have now to be able to get it all down in a real like blueprint that we didn't really have then.
You've grown your RIA substantially over the decades. What have been some of your favorite ways to bring, how are clients finding you? How are you bringing them in the door?
Well, a few ways. One is that we did work with CPA firms over the years, and that was highly successful because I say this all the time, the key to the baby boomers vaults are not agents or advisors, they're CPAs because they're the most trusted advisors. So we recognized that years ago and built relationships with a few different CPA firms. And then we were particularly good at when we made a client getting referrals. So we really didn't do a lot in seminars and things like that. It was all just word of mouth and working with CPAs.
If you were giving advice to an RIA younger than you that was trying to grow, what would you suggest?
Okay, I'll grab that. I
Go
would I
ahead.
would say the first thing that somebody should be willing to do is to invest in their business. Set them because I remember when we first started the RIA, we took a line of credit to finance us into the business because it wasn't like before where you'd go out and pick up $500,000 and get paid 15, 20 grand. You wouldn't even get a thank you card. And then you get dribs and drabs of money coming in. So literally, yeah, you should be ready to invest in your business. Number two, you should be spending more time on your business than in your business, meaning working on it and working to make it successful, not just one-on-one with clients. Also, you should develop some type of internal operation systems utilizing technology to help make your business streamlined. And that's what I would suggest that a RIA coming into the business do.
Can you talk a little bit about your philosophy of investing?
Guy, you want to take that?
Yeah. Well, philosophy is uh, you don't run out of money. But I would say, and I'm a little tongue in cheek, obviously, but we want people to really protect their money. And I would say we do a lot of risk mitigation. So our philosophy is don't take more risk than you have to get to where you want to go. And make sure that you have your sustainable income, which covers your main expenses, and have that be your core portfolio. But it's we do a lot of risk mitigations. I call it putting guardrails on your money, and whatever you want to call bumpers, bubble wrap your money. But it's a way and a philosophy that gives people the confidence that they can achieve their goals without the bottom falling out, so to speak. So our philosophy is process driven, and the products we use are geared towards risk mitigation.
Yeah, to further that, one of the things we do with Imagine Retirement is we really try to identify as much as possible the amount of money they're going to need when they retire, what age that is. So example, let's say somebody needed $10,000 a month and they were retiring at 65. We would identify what would be guaranteed income to meet that 10,000. So let's say as an example, somebody had 4,000 of Social Security money coming in and they had no other guarantees. That means the other 6,000 would have to come in through assets that they own, whether it be real estate, marketable securities, whatever that is. And if it was marketable securities, whether it be an IRA or a pension or whatever it is they have, we would offer a way of protecting the other $6,000 for lifetime income with insurance companies. And all of it, none of it, how much would you like to insure of that? And if none, that's fine. Then we would manage the money, use risk mitigation techniques like guys talking about protecting the downside on people's money and then growing the upside. But that's really how we approach. Uh, it's more approached by what's your particular need, what's guaranteed, where your shortfalls, and then we use different techniques based on their goals and objectives and what they're comfortable with.
I know that you are passionate about giving back and helping others coming along behind you. Can you talk a little bit about your efforts in that department?
Guy, you want to go through that?
Well, you mean other advisors?
Yes.
Okay, so look, what we're trying to do is build a sustainable business model, which, again, with the Imagine Retirement process, that others can dovetail off of that as we build it out. We're with a large broker dealer with, I don't know, 10,000 reps or so, as well as some of our strategic relationships have excellent products that we fit into our process. And we look to help those reps with the process we use in order to highlight what we feel are very valuable investment products in the arena as we look around every year, and we have a lot of relationships with other advisors and a wealth of resources. So we're always looking to do that. We've flown out to our broker dealer on several occasions, showing them our process, which they really liked. So we're trying to build that in-house, and we have proof of concept, and as we build that out, we hope to offer that to other advisors throughout the country.
Yeah, and anytime any one of either our broker dealers or providers that work with us ask us to participate in meetings like we did with you back a month or so, a couple months ago, we gladly do that and give of our time and our experience to help other advisors become better in their business any way that we can through our expertise and our experience.
Awesome. Guy, what do you like best about what you do?
Well, I would say what's fun for me is that Steve and I grew up together. We're lifelong friends, and we used to hit each over the head with a rattle when we were little kids. So it's really great uh, to have our career together and our friendship. And I like that a lot. And I like the flexibility of our business and going back and forth between Florida and New Jersey and our homes, and Steve's same way. But we have a great staff. We have great clientele. And what I really enjoy about this business is the feedback I get from clients and their positive feedback to me, and the friendships I've made with my clients is really a motivating. It gets me going. It's really a motivating factor. So it's a very gratifying business for me.
Steve, what
Mhm.
about you?
Well, I mean, I've grown up in the business. My father and grandfather before me were advisors, so for me, um, it's it's working with my my lifelong friend Guy and my buddy Ray that I've known since we're 18 years old, and Tom that's the head of operations that I've known over 20 years. It's these people uh, that helped to create a successful business that I really value those relationships, and I also value uh, what we've been able to do for our clients, and also which has also helped our families. It's a hand in hand thing, and to me it's really rewarding. I mean, I get up every morning and go to life, not go to work. This is my life, and I love it. So.
That's beautifully said. Guy, any other thoughts that you've got that you want to share?
Uh, I would just say that uh, our Imagine Retirement program um, is a journey that we've been on for a while, and we're looking forward to really testing the markets on that, um, for pre and post retirees. And our thoughts are that, or my thoughts on that is that it's really a needed service. And it seems to be a lot of attrition in this industry where, people it's harder and harder to get into this business these days. And the people that are here, if they're offering a great service, I think it's well needed out there today. I mean, with AI and other stuff, people still want to talk to someone. And my thought is that, we're on the right track with where we're headed with Imagine Retirement.
Steve, where can our audience go to learn more about the both of you?
Well, our website is rockassets.com, and on rockassets.com you'll meet us, there are other advisors, and you'll learn about our company. And on that, it has informative videos, it has articles, it has financial calculators and all types of educational content. And we grew up in a rock and roll era, Guy and I. So the reason we named, our website, rockassets.com, is because we rock our clients' assets. So go to rockassets.com and it will rock you out. You know what I mean? You'll love it. So
Well, we greatly
come visit.
appreciate your time. We know it is incredibly valuable. This has been Seth Greene for the RIA show with Steve Richman and Guy Paredes of rockassets.com. Steve, Guy, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you, Seth. You have a great
Our,
rest of the
our,
day, buddy.
our pleasure. Thanks.
Thanks,
Take care.
everybody, for watching or listening. We'll talk to you or see you next time.
Thank you.